afternoon, fellow classmate, Brenda. Now earlier this morning we hear something very interesting about self-confidence. Okay. Now self-confidence is about that something that opens the door to the job that you want. Right? Okay. I am going to talk also about another something. And this is also the something that opens your door. And that is English. English as in the English language that is required for you to enter a certain university or institute of studies. English as the proficiency in written and spoken English that you need to get that job. So in short, English opens the door. But for the Chinese students, I feel very happy for you that you have passed your English language placement test, and that opens your door to NTU. Now it's not just university students, high school students that need this thing called English to open the door. Even the lowest rung, the domestic housekeepers, in Singapore we call them the maids, it. Now let me bring you to my experience on maids. I have maids for about 8 years by now. My first maid is a Filipino. She works for me for about 2 years. And then she went off somewhere. She went to Hong Kong to work. I was told that in Hong Kong and China, the mothers once maid for the purpose of speaking English to their children. What a clever idea. 2 in 1. Domestic helper as well as English tutor. Right. My second maid is an Indonesian. She's said to say some English. So I pay a little bit more for her because the agency says she can speak English and so on. So she came. But she dare not speak English for a long time. She was with me for about 5-6 years, 6 years to be exact. And then now she works for an expat family. Expat family are those well-paid American and English who are, having very good jobs here in Singapore. It is the ultimate dream of most maids to work for the expat. It's just like going up the ladder. Why? Because expats are known to live in big houses, they have good food, and they are also generous. But they are demanding, they hire and fire. That means don't care. They just want to get the experience. Even if they are fired, they can easily get another job, given the English. My current maid has been with me for about 5 years. I need a maid is because I have an old treasure at home. And she's my mother. She is 90 years old. And she needs help in almost everything. Her English, I would say she has no English. The reason I took her was that it's very difficult to wait for an Indonesian English-speaking maid because they are snap up at nobody business. So, I took her. And maids generally don't like to look after elderlies. Because if they look after children, they can go out. They will go with the children to shopping centers, to the playground, and things like this. For my maids, her going out are to hospitals that my mother checked in every now and then, and also for her medical appointments to the clinics. So it's terribly boring. She could speak only a few words, like she knows what is water, she knows what is hamburger, she knows what is chicken. So 2 months after she joined me, I say we are going to cook race ducks. This race ducks. These race ducks. I show her, we are Teochew, so we love these race ducks. I can also do it pretty well. It's hand down from traditions. So I show her how to do, and I show her step by step. She actually does all the thing, and I'll just stand there, put this first. I show her how to fry the blue ginger, cinnamon, and other stuff, sugar and so on. And then add black sauce, and then black add water to make a kind of a stock to bathe the duck. You have to put the duck in, bathe and bathe until you get this nice color. It was a tedious process. So, another time I bought a duck again, the second time I bought a duck. I said, you're going to cook the duck again like before. Okay? You clean the duck, cut the ingredients, I'll come back again. 1 hour later, I went back. I couldn't find the duck. And then I discovered the duck was sitting in my slow pot, in a pot of water, stewing away. Oh my, I got a guest coming and I promised braised duck. There's no way I could save the duck to re-cook into another. So I went to the fridge, I get kiam chai. Kiam chai is salted vegetable. I took the kiam chai, throw in the pot, and voila! 2 hours later, we have nice kiam chai duck. So, there are other small incidents like this in the kitchen. It was an absolute disaster. On hindsight, I was thinking I should have just paid more for a maid who can speak English. So you can see that English commands a premium. Now she's better. Every day, she learns one word. Even one word is too much, she will forget. So I'm sure if she's with me for the next 4 or 5 years, doors will also open for her to an employer who will pay more for her. And she can also select who she wants to work. Now, let me bring you to myself, what English has done for me, and how English opens my door. I'm a local. I studied 5 years in primary school, 4 years in secondary school, 2 years in JC, junior college. Junior college is a very intensive year that prepares you for the university. Okay. And English takes a form of GP. And GP frightens many people because it's difficult to pass. It's writing this long argumentative essay. Okay. And another 3 years in the University of Singapore. Altogether, 14 years. That is how we get such a good grounding for English. Then in the 90s, when I went to work, I was working there. I thought I liked the idea of being a lecturer in the poly because I liked the long break. I also liked the independence because it's just a student, not much on office politics. So I told myself, how do I begin? First of all, you need TESOL because I'm not teaching English. So I took TESOL. TESOL is that teaching of English as a second subject. You can take it in RALC. It's either 3 months or 6 months. So I take the 3 months one. So at least it will again help me to open the door together with my basic degree and so on. So with that, I applied to the poly. I told the poly, I said, I want to teach economics because that's my favorite subject. No, we need English teacher. And there you are, they give me the first poly. So I tried adult teaching in the evening. The first subject I thought was called communication for work. And actually it was English in disguise. No wonder the counter, when I went for enrollment, they told me they want English teacher. It was English in disguise. Students must pass it, otherwise they will not get their diploma. Another subject that I thought nobody could guess what I thought. It was GCE English O-level repeats. Heard of that? Taught in poly? These are for the conditional poly student. These are the ones that would have got into JC if it is not for the English. It means they are actually getting A1, A2 for all the other subjects. And English they get E7. English they get E8. The requirement is E7, so they fall short of 1 grade. The poly takes them in on the condition that they must resit the GCE O-level until they get the required grade. Otherwise, again, no diploma. So it was hell for all these students. And teaching these courses was actually very, very tough. I spent a lot of time hand-holding those students whom I know they will not make it if I don't teach them one-to-one. I do this outside a lesson hour, weekends, and so on. They even come to my kitchen. And some of them even cry. You must really help me. You are my last hope, because I failed in the hands of all other teachers. So, it was the fulfillment that I saw when these students clear the hurdles and move on. Doors open for them. Today, I have students who have become engineers and have come to NTU to take their master program. I feel very proud. So you can see that English is that long process. And you have to practice and you have to study for it. Now when we talk about learning English, we cannot forget Jack Ma. All of you know Jack Ma? Jack Ma is the co-founder of Alibaba. Okay? So if you... this is a captcha. Nice as well. Now you see there's an entry requirement. You have to get this D7, otherwise you have to research for the English. Now this is Alibaba. He's currently my hero. I read this book 3-4 times. He founded Alibaba in 1997. Let's go back a little. Alibaba was born to Jack Ma was born to a poor family. Okay. His mother is a production worker. His father is a photographer. He is a native of Hangzhou, same as Agnes. So he was no good in maths and English. He don't like English. But he don't like maths and science, but he loved English. So at the age of 12, he decided that he's going to learn English on his own. Every morning, he will wake up at 4 a.m. and cycle for 40 minutes to Hangzhou Hotel. And Hangzhou Hotel is where all the English-speaking tourists stay. He will park himself outside the hotel and offer free tourist guide service in exchange for not money, but practicing English. He did that day and shine until he was 19. And when he graduated from high school, he couldn't get into any university. Instead, he went to Hangzhou English Teachers Training College instead. He graduated in English and became an English teacher. He taught for a few years, and then he went into entrepreneurship. He started a translation company, and he also started China.com. Both didn't get anywhere. And then he went to work for the Chinese government in Beijing. His English was so good, and he was so popular, that he was selected to go for a trip to USA. And there, wow, he discovered internet. He said the power is in the internet. And if he's going to go into entrepreneurship again, internet is the way to go. After that, he didn't stay very long in the government service because he found it boring, okay, and unexciting. He returned to Hangzhou in 1991. And he started Alibaba with 18 co-founders. And I always believed that it was English that made Alibaba very successful. He was an eloquent speaker and very persuasive, very convincing. Later on, we will look at a little video on how he speaks. And with that, he was able to woo a lot of big investors to put money into Alibaba because it was considered a startup. Then in 2005, he took Alibaba to the stock exchange. And what happened? It landed the biggest historical IPO, 21 billion. And that was how these funds helped Alibaba to grow and grow to what it is. Now maybe we can now take a short clip on how he speaks. Anyone of you heard him speak before?
we believe China, the small business, the private sectors are the future. So we focus on that. And the B2B in the US, the focus of buyers. They want help the buyers to save the cost, to save the time. We believe don't teach the SME, don't teach the small business how to save the cost because they know much better than you do. You should help them how to make money. So we focus on helping small business. We focus on helping them to make money, to sell things abroad. Very difficult to do business at that time, but after 12 years, we got more than 58 million small.
Are you ready?
Okay. Sorry, I'm not good at this. So you can see that he speaks slowly, concisely, and very simple English. There is no accent. And I've been hearing a lot of his speeches. They are all like that. Very convincing, very captivating, very inspiring. Now, his speech making is so good that well-known speakers say to speak after Jack Ma is a losing proposition. Jack steals the show. President Obama was also so impressed with him that he moderated one of his speaking sessions. And in January this year, President Trump invited him to his office for chit-chat. Because at that time, he was quite worried that China is taking away all the American jobs and business or whatever. Jack Ma said, never mind. I help you. I'm going to help you create 1 million jobs in 5 years. I thought that was a very bold promise and a tall promise. And I'm sure Jack Ma can fulfill it. Now from this you can see that English is a very powerful something that opens your door to your hopes and dreams, okay, and to extra pocket money like English has done for me. I'm still teaching, and I feel very happy when I spend one night on part-time lecturing. I didn't go back to full-time lecturing because I stopped. Working in the day is still more stable. You still have bonus and so on. So every time I spend one night in a lecture room, I feel very happy because it promised me a big trolley of stuff from NTUC. Okay. So, and also for the mates, they look forward to go elsewhere, even the lowest rung. So you can see how powerful that something is called English. Now English is like building your muscle. It is not something that comes immediately, and you can't get it in a hurry too. You have to practice, practice, and practice. And one day, it will come, like your muscle. It will come. So, I hope with this little tech talk, you go away understanding how powerful English